On the morning of November 21, three Jaguars arrived on its first deployment mission under a new guise as the SF-260 Warriors. The Edwin Andrews Air Base flight line was heavy like a combat zone. Piles of iron bombs were seen on the backside of the parking ramp. Two OV-10s were being uploaded with 4 Mark 82 bombs. Two MD-520s loaded with rockets and machine guns were flying over the area. One C-130 had just landed, carrying reinforcements and scores of high-ranking Army and Air Force officers. These would later board on 4 Utility 1 HUEs bound for Jolo. Brigadier General Nelson Enslao, the 3rd TOW commander, approached the pilots of the Jaguars and said, quote, "Be ready for an airstrike anytime. We need you here." End quote. Meanwhile, over the skies of Sulu, the OV-10s and the MD-520s were conducting airstrikes in succession for 3 straight days against the MNLF rebels, loyal to the outgoing ARMM governor, Nur Miswari. The chaos started when MNLF rebels began pounding the 104th BDE of the Philippine Army and the TOG-9 in Jolo with mortars at the dawn of November 19. Although the damage was minimal, such incident signaled the counter-strike by the military. 3 MNLF strongholds were blasted with rockets and bombs for 3 straight days, leaving heavy casualties on the rebel side. From their original stronghold, the rebels were forced by the combined aerial bombardment and ground assault to withdraw to the mountainsides. The Jaguar pilots, fresh from a week-long gunnery training mission at Crow Valley Range, were so eager to test their mettle in a real combat scenario, while the OV-10 and the MD-520 pilots were throttling along with successive airstrike missions. The good news came when the 15th Strike Wing attack pilots were called upon to report at the Southern Command headquarters for target briefing. The primary target came out to be the house of the Miswari in Silanka, Sulu, about 20 miles from Jolo town, since the target is situated within the populated area. 2.75 FFAR is decided to be the most appropriate ordnance for such to avoid hitting nearby houses. Hence, this was the perfect chance for the Jaguars. On 10:30 on the 22nd of November, a flight of 3 SF-260s took off for Sulu with the mission, quote, "Destroy the house of Nurmiswari in Silankan," end quote. Coursing through the route with a GPS tracker, the Jaguars reached the target area after about 35 minutes of flight. The wingman radioed, quote, "Tally ho, the target," end quote. That is the bungalow-type house painted in blue in the middle of a row of houses along the shoreline. The pilots knew that they only have a couple of chances for a high-angle delivery and a very low release altitude before the enemy's 50 cal machine gun gets active. Pumping high with adrenaline, the lead pilot descends to 1,500 feet and initiates the roll into target. Then suddenly, 4 K223 rockets blasted out from the launcher and smacked right into the target. 4 gaping holes appeared on the center of the roof. With that, the remaining rocket propellant and warhead explosions are sure enough to penetrate the soft roof. Seconds later, thick smoke and traces of flame billowed from the holes. The wingmen fired their shots on the immediate vicinity of the house to ensure that nothing on the target left untouched. The Jaguars then proceeded to their next target, a cluster of nipa houses at the foot of Mount Tukay, reported to be a rallying point of the withdrawing rebel forces. To say the least, the targets were totally destroyed after a series of precision rocketry by the Jaguars. As soon as the Jaguars went home, they saw a towering smoke from the house of their Miswari, still burning. With that, the maiden combat mission of the Philippine Air Force was concluded, and it was very successful. The precision targeting and the pilot's bravery proved once again the professionalism of PAF attack pilots. In the aftermath of these clashes, the Air Force blasted several of Miswari's hideouts, leaving 100 rebels dead.